From the moment our ancient ancestors first looked up at a canopy of stars, we have been a species defined by questions. We have split the atom, mapped the human genome, and sent probes to the edge of our solar system. Our collective knowledge is a towering monument to human curiosity, a cathedral of understanding built piece by piece, theory by theory, over millennia. We have answered questions our forebears wouldn't have even known how to ask, and yet, we find ourselves at the precipice of ignorance, staring into two abysses of the unknown so profound they challenge the very foundations of our reality. These are not just gaps in our knowledge, they are chasms. Physicist Michio Kaku has called them the two greatest mysteries in all of science. They represent the beginning and, perhaps, the end of everything we can ever hope to comprehend. The first mystery is cosmic. It is the ultimate origin story. We know our universe began 13.8 billion years ago in a cataclysmic expansion from an infinitely hot, dense point, the Big Bang. We can trace the echo of this creation in the cosmic microwave background radiation. We can watch galaxies flee from each other in the fabric of an expanding spacetime, a concept elegantly described by Einstein. But the theory breaks down at the moment of creation itself. What banged? What was there before the bang? What existed outside the singularity? Physics as we know it, all our beautiful equations from Newton to Hawking, collapses into a meaningless void. It is the one question science cannot touch, the problem of Genesis. The second mystery is not out there in the cold vacuum of space. It's closer. It's right behind your eyes. It is the riddle of consciousness. Inside your skull are 3 pounds of soft, wet tissue, a collection of fat, water, and protein. It is, in essence, stardust. 100 billion neurons firing in an electrochemical storm. And yet, from this inert matter, an entire universe of subjective experience emerges. You are not just processing information like a computer. You feel the warmth of the sun. You experience the color red. You feel love, regret, and awe. You have a sense of self, a narrator in your head that you call I. How does this happen? How does a collection of atoms become self-aware? There is no equation for joy, no physical law that explains the feeling of wonder as you gaze upon the stars. This is the hard problem of consciousness, a ghost in the machine of our biology. The universe and the mind that perceives it. The grandest stage and the ghost that walks its boards. These are the two poles of our ignorance. On one hand, the mystery of everything that exists. On the other, the mystery of the I that is able to ask the question. Over the next 5 parts, we will journey to the very edge of human knowledge, exploring the radical theories and daring experiments designed to solve these ultimate riddles. We will journey from the multiverse to the mechanics of the mind. Because, in the quest to solve them, we may find that the mystery of the cosmos and the mystery of consciousness are not two separate questions, but two sides of the same magnificent coin. Let us begin with the first abyss, the moment before creation. For a century, our map of the cosmos has been guided by a single brilliant idea, Einstein's general relativity. It describes gravity not as a force, but as the curvature of space-time itself, a cosmic fabric warped by matter and energy. This theory has been proven time and again, predicting everything from the bending of starlight to the existence of gravitational waves. But if you follow its elegant equations backward in time, all the way to the beginning, the map crumbles into nonsense. Our greatest theory of the large fails us at the most critical moment. It describes the unfurling of the universe with breathtaking accuracy, but it cannot describe the mechanism that set it in motion. To see beyond this wall of infinity, we need a new kind of physics, a theory of everything that can unite the world of the very large, galaxies and gravity, with the world of the very small, the quantum chaos of particles. And our leading candidate is as elegant as it is bizarre: string theory. The theory proposes that at the most fundamental level, everything in existence, from the light hitting your eye to the chair you're sitting on, is made not of points, but of infinitely small vibrating loops of energy, strings. Each unique vibration, each note they play, corresponds to a different particle. The magnificent symphony of these vibrating strings is our universe. But for this cosmic music to work, the mathematics requires something extraordinary: hidden, curled up dimensions of space beyond the three we experience. And in this higher dimensional reality, our entire universe may be nothing more than a vast membrane or brain floating in a grander cosmic ocean. If this is true, it offers a stunning answer to the question of Genesis. What banged? Perhaps our universe wasn't born from an unknowable singularity. Perhaps it was born from a collision. In this model, the Big Bang was not a beginning, but an event. The cataclysmic impact of our brain with another in this higher dimensional space, releasing an unimaginable torrent of energy that ignited the expansion we still witness today. What was there before the bang? A quieter, colder, emptier universe, drifting and waiting. This idea blows the doors of creation wide open. It's no longer a theory of one universe, but a theory of countless universes, a multiverse. Each collision, each quantum fluctuation in this cosmic landscape could spawn a new bubble universe, each with its own unique symphony of strings, its own unique laws of physics. Our finely tuned universe, with its perfect conditions for stars, planets, and life, may not be a singular miracle, but a statistical inevitability on an infinite cosmic shore. We have traded a single inexplicable moment of creation for an eternal pageant of cosmic birth, death, and rebirth. It is a beautiful yet unproven vision. But as we grapple with this infinite cosmos, the second mystery looms ever closer. If the universe is a symphony, who or what is the listener? Next, we turn inward from the fabric of space-time to the fabric of thought. We have stood at the edge of the multiverse, pondering an infinity of creations. We have imagined a cosmic symphony played on vibrating strings. But a symphony, no matter how grand, is silent without a listener. So we turn from the fabric of space-time to the fabric of thought, from the mystery of what is out there to the enigma of what is in here. The journey now is not measured in light years, but in the microscopic space between two neurons. Inside your head is the most complex object in the known universe. 100 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others, forming 100 trillion synapses. It is a biological supercomputer of staggering power, processing terabytes of sensory data every moment. We can trace the signals. We can map the regions that light up when you see a face, hear a song, or make a decision. We understand the mechanics of the brain with ever-increasing clarity. This is what neuroscientists call the easy problem. But that is not the mystery. The mystery is this: why does all of that electrochemical activity feel like anything at all? When light of a 650 nanometer wavelength strikes your retina, a signal travels down your optic nerve. Your brain processes this signal and identifies it. A computer can do that. But you experience the color red. You feel the warmth of love, the sting of regret, the taste of a strawberry. This private inner universe of subjective experience, what philosophers call qualia, is the true abyss. It is the hard problem of consciousness. How does inert, unfeeling matter, mere stardust organized in a particular way, become aware of its own existence? Science is now launching its most audacious expeditions to map this inner world. One leading hypothesis integrated information theory proposes that consciousness isn't a trick of the brain, but a fundamental property of matter, like mass or spin. Any system that can integrate enough information, be it a brain, a future supercomputer, or perhaps even the universe itself, will possess some degree of consciousness. It suggests we are not a strange anomaly, but an exquisite example of a universal phenomenon. Another idea, the global workspace theory, pictures the mind as a grand theater. Countless unconscious processes work in the dark, behind the scenes, competing for attention. Consciousness is the brilliant spotlight on the stage, seizing one piece of information, a thought, a sensation, a memory, and broadcasting it to the entire system. It is the moment an idea goes from a whisper in the dark to the star of the show. Yet even this doesn't explain. Both minimalist and unsettling, filled with quantum-like glitches and ethereal paths. In our search for the origins of consciousness, we have mapped the biological machine of the brain and stared into the philosophical abyss of subjective experience. But some pioneers believe the answer lies not in biology alone, but in the fundamental laws that govern reality itself. To find the ghost in the machine, we must descend to a level where the machine itself dissolves into a haze of impossible probabilities. We must enter the bizarre and unsettling world of quantum mechanics. On the scale of atoms and electrons, the universe behaves like a fever dream. Here, particles can exist in multiple places at once, a state called superposition. They can be linked across vast distances in a spooky entanglement. And in the most famous demonstration of this madness, the double-slit experiment, a single particle fired at two openings behaves as if it passed through both simultaneously, interfering with itself to create a wave pattern on the other side. This is the bedrock of reality, a world not of solid certainties, but of shimmering, ghostly probabilities. But then we do something that changes everything. We look. The very act of measurement, of observing which path the particle takes, forces it to make a choice. The cloud of probability collapses into a single, definite reality. This is the observer effect, and it is perhaps the most profound and disturbing discovery in the history of science. It tears down the wall between the observer and the observed. But it begs a terrifying question. What counts as an observer? Does it need to be a complex measuring device, or could it be something more? For decades, a fringe but tantalizing idea has lingered, that the final collapse of a quantum wave function requires a conscious mind. This interpretation turns reality on its head. It suggests that consciousness is not a passive spectator to a pre-existing universe. Instead, it is an active participant, a co-creator. It proposes that the universe only becomes concrete and definite when a conscious agent observes it. Without a mind to perceive it, the cosmos might remain an unresolved sea of infinite potential. We are not just stardust, this theory claims. We are the force that crystallizes the stars from the quantum mist. A grand and poetic idea, but is there any way to anchor it in the physical brain? Physicist Sir Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff have proposed a daring mechanism. Their orchestrated objective reduction theory posits that the building blocks of consciousness are not the firings between neurons, but quantum computations occurring within microscopic protein structures inside them called microtubules. They suggest these delicate structures can maintain a state of quantum superposition, a bubbling cauldron of possibilities, before collapsing into a definite state. That collapse, they argue, is a moment of pure conscious experience, a single frame in the movie of your subjective reality. In this view, the brain is not a classical computer, but a quantum one. It is a machine designed to harness the strangest aspects of reality to generate awareness. We have journeyed from the multiverse to the mind, and now find that the deepest secrets of consciousness may be written in the same quantum language as the earliest moments of the universe itself. The two great mysteries are beginning to echo one another. Is it possible that the code of the cosmos and the code of consciousness are not just similar, but one and the same? We have arrived at the precipice. The journey inward into the quantum heart of the mind has led us to a staggering proposition: that consciousness is not an afterthought of the universe, but a necessary catalyst for its existence. The observer, it seems, is required to collapse the infinite possibilities of the quantum world into the single, concrete reality we experience. This idea is so radical, it forces us to reconsider the very nature of everything, from the screen you are watching to the most distant galaxy. What if the universe isn't a collection of things at all, but a projection of pure information? This is the frontier where physics begins to sound like metaphysics. One of the most mind-bending ideas to emerge from string theory and black hole physics is the holographic principle. It suggests that all the information contained within a volume of space, every star, every planet, every atom, can be described by a theory that lives on the boundary of that space, on a lower dimensional flat surface. In essence, it claims that the three-dimensional reality we perceive might be a grand illusion, a hologram projected from a two-dimensional information code written on the edge of the universe. Suddenly, the universe and the mind begin to speak the same language, the language of information. Integrated information theory, as we explored, defines consciousness as a measure of a system's ability to process and unify information. The holographic principle describes the entire cosmos as a manifestation of information. The two great mysteries, the universe and the mind that perceives it, are both at their core phenomena of information. This leads us to the most profound question of all, a question known as the anthropic principle. Why? Why does the universe have the precise set of laws and physical constants that allow for the existence of information processing conscious beings like us? If there is only one universe, our existence is a miracle of impossible odds. But if, as string theory suggests, there is a multiverse, an infinite cosmic foam of bubble universes, the answer becomes statistical. We simply find ourselves in one of the universes where the conditions were right for us to evolve and ask the question. But the quantum observer effect suggests a more symbiotic answer. Perhaps universes can only truly exist, can only crystallize from the quantum fog when they contain an observer to perceive them. It's a cosmic feedback loop. The universe gives birth to consciousness, and consciousness, in turn, gives reality to the universe. This paints a breathtaking picture. We are not merely inhabitants of the cosmos. We are the mechanism by which the cosmos becomes real. We are the universe's way of knowing itself. The two great mysteries have merged. The origin of the universe and the origin of the mind are not separate problems, but a single, tangled enigma of creation and perception. So we are left with the final, ultimate question. Where do we go from here? What does it mean for us, the children of stardust who dream the stars into being? And so, we stand at the end of our journey, having stared into the two greatest abysses of knowledge, only to find they may be reflections of each other. We are left with the final question: where do we go from here? The answer is not simply to build larger telescopes or more powerful brain scanners. The answer is to tell ourselves a new story. For millennia, we have been told we are either the divinely chosen centerpiece of creation or a meaningless chemical accident adrift in a cold, indifferent void. But this new perspective, born from the strange union of cosmology and consciousness, offers a third, more breathtaking narrative. A story where we are neither masters nor accidents, but partners. In this new story, we are not separate from the world, looking in. We are the universe, looking out. We are the cosmos made conscious, the mechanism by which reality awakens from its quantum slumber and bears witness to its own magnificence. This reframes our entire scientific endeavor. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is no longer just a hunt for alien biology, but a search for other nodes in a cosmic conscious network. The exploration of the laws of physics becomes a form of cosmic self-reflection. Our curiosity is not a quirk of our evolution, it is the universe's own innate drive to understand itself. This shift in perspective does not just change our science, it changes everything. It imbues our fleeting subjective lives with an almost bearable significance. The awe you feel watching a sunset is not just a flurry of neural activity, it is the universe experiencing its own beauty through your eyes. The love you feel for another person is the cosmos discovering connection. Your grief, your joy, your moments of sudden crystalline insight, these are not trivial internal events. They are the currency of a universe that trades in experience. You are not just a collection of atoms. You are a vessel of cosmic feeling. The two great mysteries have led us to a single, unified path. The journey outward to the edge of space and the dawn of time, and the journey inward to the quantum depths of the mind are not two different quests. They are the same. One uses the telescope, the other uses introspection, but both are instruments of awareness, pointed at the same fundamental reality. Every question we ask of the stars, we are also asking of ourselves. We have not solved these mysteries. We may never. But perhaps the goal was never to find a final answer. Perhaps the purpose is in the asking. We are the storytellers of reality, the narrators for an otherwise silent cosmos. In our search for meaning, we create it. In our struggle to comprehend the whole, we make it whole. The universe does not just contain us, it completes itself through us. We are the atoms that have learned to wonder why they are here.
The world is full of fascinating paradoxes, isn't it? We hope today's facts truly bent your mind. If you're ready for more daily revelations that challenge the norm, subscribe to Mindbenders. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Until next time.